All right, welcome to the show, y'all. It is Monday, February 16th. I hope all of you out there are having an awesome day. In just a second, what the hell is going on with Donald Trump's neck? His neck. Something's up, and you're about to see it, and you're going to judge for yourself here in just a second. So we'll talk about that. We also have a white supremacist is grilled by Congress, and he chokes under pressure and falls apart. It's a glorious thing to see. As soon as these losers step into the real world and they get even a little bit of pushback on their racist BS, they crumble. So we'll dive into that. We also have Alex Jones being caught red-handed, being a sad regime propagandist, literally using talking points that other right-wing assholes are using verbatim. So clearly they're on some sort of email list. We'll get to that. We'll also talk about Marco Rubio's dark and disturbing speech that you have to see to believe. He went full fascist and he went full imperialist while talking in Munich. And the reaction from the crowd was a wee bit surprising, if I don't say so myself. It's a wee bit surprising. Somebody told me it's if I do say so myself. If I do say so myself, I don't know which one it is. You choose whichever one you'd like. And then also later on, Hakeem Jeffries collapses and refuses to say abolish ICE and reject AIPAC money. That is not a good look for him at all, so we'll dive into that too. You guys know the deal, man. Everybody, please do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. You can also support the show on Patreon or tip with that thanks button on YouTube. You, of course, can support Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack as well and sign up. That's also below me here. And go subscribe to the Corns World YouTube channel. There is no Corns World tonight or next Monday, but after that, we'll be back. Corn's currently on vacation, but come hang out with us for the live Kyle and Corn episodes. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. But before I get started officially with anything, we got to talk about this real quick. So the Tennessee Holler says, yikes, Barry Weiss strikes again. Nothing to see here, folks. And he's showing a Mediaite article here. CBS quietly decides to retain Peter Attia as contributor despite Epstein fallout, network staffers say. Okay, so for those of you who are unaware, Peter Attia is one of Epstein's absolute besties. Right up there with sloppy Steve Bannon, right up there with Donald Trump. Peter Attia was a giddy little schoolgirl when in the presence of Jeffrey Epstein or emailing with or texting Jeffrey Epstein. That's a fact because we've seen the emails, we've seen the correspondence, okay? How about this one? As Ron Filipkowski points out, the Barry Weiss hire, who appears in the Trump Epstein files 1,838 times, wrote in a 2016 email, I go into Jeffrey Epstein withdrawal when I don't see him. He's also the guy who was talking to Epstein and he goes, is eating pussy low carb? You're talking to the world's most infamous pedophile, and you're asking if pussy is low carb? That's what you're doing? That's what you're doing. You know what else he said? He said, the craziest thing about being friends with you is I can't even tell anybody about the life you lead. Really, Peter? Why can't you tell anybody? Why can't you tell anybody? Is it because you know he's a child sex trafficker? And so that would instantly mean whoever you're telling this to would realize both Epstein is a monster and you're a monster and they never want to talk to you again? That's exactly what it is. So this guy, make no mistake about it, he knew. And he knew before the general public had any inkling whatsoever what this guy was about. By the way, Peter Attia, also Joe Rogan's doctor and has been on the Rogan podcast multiple times. Make of that what you will. But this is wild. So Barry Weiss went to the mat for this guy, protected him, and apparently the Ellisons caved like little bitches and said, sure, we'll allow the Epstein class to run our network, which, by the way, is exactly what they're doing. So here's what I want you to do. I already did this, by the way, but go to at CBS News on Twitter. Just fucking ratio every post they do and reply with you guys are pedophile protectors. You know, something to that effect. That why are you guys protecting the Epstein class? Why are you guys pedo protecting? Do you know that this guy said he goes into Jeffrey Epstein withdrawal when he's not with him? You guys are criminals and nobody should watch your shitty fucking network as long as you're protecting pedophiles. You should do that. Everything they post should be ratioed. Not only at CBS News, but also if you go to @Paramount Plus on Twitter, do the exact same thing. And by the way, the thing that gave me the idea for this is, remember when Bill Burr went to Saudi Arabia and sold out, and then he came back and he started posting, podcasts on YouTube as if everything would go back to normal, and basically his entire audience turned on him. Basically, like 95% of the comments are shitting on Bill Burr and calling him a sellout, and he just kept acting like it'll be okay and it'll go back to normal. And here we are months removed from that, and people are still mocking Bill Burr and still going after him and still mass downvoting his videos. The same thing should happen. Oh, that's another good idea. Go to the CBS YouTube channel, CBS News YouTube channel, mass downvote every single video in every single, in the comment section, say the same shit. Why don't you fire Peter Attia? Why are you protecting the Epstein class? Why are you guys pedo protectors? Every single thing they post from now till the end of time should be fucking ratioed. And guess what? They might act like they don't care about shit like this. They do care about shit like this. They do care about shit like this. And they probably will eventually cave if you do a full court press. So I need everybody in my audience to do this. Look, I understand it's slacktivism. It's not really activism. But if it might move the world even 0.01% in a proper direction and get this guy shit canned, then we absolutely positively should do it, okay? So everybody do me a favor and get on that. All right, now let's get into some other stuff because there's a lot of stuff to get to here. So let's start with this. What's going on with Donald Trump's neck here? And is that the lettuce lady? All right, so the lettuce lady thing is this is Liz Truss. Liz Truss was Prime Minister of the UK for about 17 seconds before she was ousted. She did some stupid, economic move. I forget what it was. I think it was, maybe some giant tax cut for the rich, led to the economy tanking. Then she was immediately ousted. The lettuce outlasted Liz Truss. Funny fact about her, she also met with the Queen, and then 2 days after she met with the Queen died. Is there going to be something similar in this case? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see together. But here she is with Donald Trump. And take a look at Trump's neck here. What is going on? Now, I must admit, the first time I saw this, I didn't think much of it. I've already seen the pictures of Trump with basically his hand rotting off. We know they're hiding a bunch of stuff about his health. But in this one in particular, I was like, I don't know, that might be nothing much, right? But I decided, hey, what the hell? Let me go ahead and Google this real quick and see what the reality is, see what that actually represents. So I typed in jugular vein distension, and here's what came up. This is from the Cleveland Clinic. Jugular vein distension is the bulging of the major veins in your neck. It's a key symptom of heart failure and other heart and circulatory problems. It's not a painful symptom, but it can happen with conditions that can be life-threatening. Because of that, it's important to have this checked by a healthcare provider if you have it. And then I'll scroll down here, and it says possible causes. What are the most common causes of this symptom? Bulging of the jugular veins means that pressure is unusually high in the right atrium, the right upper chamber of your heart, and in the superior vena cava. That high pressure happens with several health conditions. If you have jugular vein distension and low blood pressure, this is a sign of life-threatening conditions like cardiac tamponade, a collapsed lung, a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot in the lung, which is definitely deadly, heart failure, pulmonary hypertension, constrictive pericarditis, tricuspid valve disease and other heart valve diseases, and interstitial lung disease, and superior vena cava syndrome. So guys, you know what else is a symptom of heart failure? When your fucking ankles swell to double the size that they normally are, which is something that happened to Trump not that long ago. I'm not kidding when I say I think his health is actually failing him. I think his health is actually failing him. We covered a story, what was it? I want to say maybe a month ago, where you had this health expert who said he thinks Trump's going to die within 4 months. I believe it was within 4 months. And I said, you know what? Look, that's aggressive. That's an aggressive timeline. That's an aggressive timeline. But you know, I would genuinely be shocked if he made it through this year. I would genuinely be shocked if he made it through. Well, maybe his term. Let's say that his term. I would be shocked. And here we are. The things keep piling up. By the way, everybody knows that the marks on his hand, he goes, oh, that's from shaking too many hands. And it's actually, I hit a side table, and that's why my other hand got it too. Come on, who the fuck are you kidding? Everybody knows that's from injections. The question is, what are you injecting? And the answer, I think, is this drug called Leqembi. And Leqembi is in Alzheimer's treatment. They inject, if you are at the early stages and you have mild Alzheimer's, that's when they do it. And it's supposed to be able to help a little bit with Alzheimer's. Remember, Trump's dad died with Alzheimer's at age 86. Okay? And that means Trump's risk is now 3 to 15 times higher because of that. Trump's nephew has already said, look, I see signs of it in Trump. The bruises on his hands have happened within 2-week intervals, which is the exact time frame of injecting Leqembi. Remember, the first thing to go is impulse control, and you have behavioral disinhibition, what's a good example of behavioral disinhibition and impulse control? Oh, I don't know, maybe like screaming, quiet, piggy, to a female journalist. Or what are you, a stupid person? What are you, a stupid person? As he said to another journalist at Mar-a-Lago. Or pausing in the middle of a town hall event when he was on the campaign trail and swaying back and forth while DJing and listening to Ave Maria when he's supposed to be answering questions from the audience. So the signs are there. The signs are there. The sundowning, the gait abnormalities, all that stuff. It is all there. And so something's going on. There's cognitive stuff going on and there's physical stuff going on. And I have to say, this is further evidence, very clearly, in my opinion, of some physical stuff going on. And so put homeboy on the clock because it's the time's running low. Time is running low. And I think it's becoming readily apparent to everybody. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.